So I've been talking quite a lot about the next generation of laptops coming out early next year, featuring Nvidia's RTX 30 series graphics cards, Ryzen 5000 chips, and of course the Radeon 6000M and Intel's finally 10nm Tiger Lake H and Tiger Lake U series of processors. And if you haven't watched all of those videos, then you can find links to them in the video description so that you can get a good idea of what I'm about to be telling you about in this video. And yesterday I kind of found myself on Twitter of all places, as I do most of the time, and I found this article from PC World written by the one and only Gordon telling you that you shouldn't be buying a laptop right now. And I found myself agreeing with most of the things that were put out there, and I thought to myself, why don't I make a video telling you guys why you should be waiting for the next generation of laptops. But before we go into the reasons as to why you should be waiting for the next generation of laptops to come out, perhaps I should tell you that if you find a good deal on a laptop right now, go for it. You should buy it. Like, don't wait, especially if you need one for school, work, or anything else that you need that laptop for. And of course, do keep in mind that all of those things are going to be perhaps a little bit more expensive than what you can find right now, especially because a lot of retailers are going to be putting out those current generation laptops on sale because they need to make room for the next laptops that are going to come out. So again, if you find a really good deal, go for them. And I've already seen quite a few of you talking about getting an RTX 2070 or 2080 mobile in your laptops for really good prices, so congrats on that, you guys. And of course, if you'd like to keep yourself up to date with the latest news in tech and gaming, then do consider subscribing to this channel because your support is going to be massively appreciated by yours truly. So now let's go into the things that I think are really important for the next generation of laptops, starting with the RTX series of graphics cards, the mobile version, the RTX 3060, 3070, and 3080 mobile. And as I said, I already talked about them, but just to give you a refresher, those should start at $999 and go all the way up to $2,000 and more. Of course, those are going to be really expensive, and they're going to have the RTX 3080 mobile, but looking at them, you have to think to yourself, do I really need that? And perhaps we're going to be talking about that in this video as well. Now, looking at the RTX 3060, we haven't seen all that many benchmarks or information on them on how good it's going to be, but just going off of the information that we have so far, we can tell that this one is going to be similar in performance to the RTX 2070, and I'm not talking about the desktop version because we've seen benchmarks for the RTX 3070 in V-Ray, and of course this is only a productivity tool. We're not talking about the gaming performance because it's still unclear at the moment, where we've seen the RTX 3070, like I was saying, performing really close in performance to the RTX 2080 Ti. And of course, this is not a mobile graphics card. They only released a desktop version for it, and it's really interesting. And I think it's good to know that, you know, there is also other people that need laptops for something else other than gaming. And I've had a friend asking me last year to get a new laptop because she needed one that could also do ray tracing really well, believe it or not, an interior designer, and she needed it for a tool that she was using it. And I recommended her to get an Intel, I believe it was 9750H, that's a bit less important in this context, but an RTX 2060 graphics card. And believe it or not, she's been having an awesome time with the Razer blade that she bought so far. And a lot of you have also left comments telling me that you needed this for construction work that you're doing for different kinds of projects. I have a friend of mine that's an architect that, well, he switched to PC, but you know, all of those things do matter for other types of clients who buy laptops. So the RTX 3070s, I think, in my opinion, is going to be really interesting because you're going to get it in, be able to get it in 3 variants, those being the RTX 3070, the 3070 16GB, and the 3070 Max Q. And I believe the 3070 16GB is going to be a really good one, but I also expect it to be a little bit more expensive. And of course, this is also going to be the whole problematic with those things other than, you know, availability, because that's going to be a bull in a China shop, I believe, at the same time, we're the biggest elephant in the room. Now, it's good to remember that the RTX 3080 is also going to come out, but do remember that this also doesn't perform all that well compared to the desktop RTX 3080, and it's a little bit more of the name that's the only thing over there, not so much the performance that we've seen for that card on desktop at least, because this one is only going to be able to be configured by manufacturers with a TDP between 110 and 150 watts, as opposed to what the RTX 3080 is asking for. And of course, it's only going to have a total of 5,888 CUDA cores, which is exactly what my RTX 3070 over there in my PC has. So I'm kind of thinking about it right now. I should probably do a power limit on the RTX 3070 so that we could get a good idea of what this graphics card is going to be able to do, but I don't know if those things work and can be matched one-to-one, especially because you're going to have a different CPU in there, and there's also thermal limits and other things that need to be taken into consideration. So perhaps I will do that at some point. If you guys are interested, then just leave a comment in the comment section down below. So those are the things with the RTX 30 series of graphics cards. AMD is also going to be releasing their 6000M series of mobile graphics cards, and they're also going to be really interesting, but not for the ones that want the best gaming performance, let's say, because AMD has decided, from what we can tell so far at least, to go with some lower end graphics cards, and those are still going to be good for casual games and light gaming, of course, in this case, and also for productivity work. I don't know that many people, but maybe if they have more VRAM and there are some applications that can make use of those graphics cards, this is also going to be really good. And we've seen the 6300M, 6400M, 6500M, and you know, all of those graphics cards coming out, and we also expected them to be putting out a 6700M, and I expected that one to be their top of the line. So we're not getting the big Navi, we're more or less getting small big Navi in the so you know, this is also good. But what I'm mostly excited about is Ryzen 5000 mobile, because AMD has been doing amazing on the desktop side of things with their 5000 series of processors, and they're bringing that to mobile as well. However, the whole naming scheme for them is a little bit complicated, and I discussed about this in one of my previous videos where I told you that if it's an even number, so you have 5, which designates the series of 5000, and the second digit tells you if it's going to be Zen 3 or Zen 2, so if it's an even number, it's a Zen 3. However, the exception here is of course the 5900HX, which is still a Zen 3 based processor, but it has a 9, so an uneven number as the second digit. Really confusing, but I already have videos on the 5900HX and the 5800U on my channel, and you can already see that the performance for these chips is going to be top notch, and of course some of them are going to be 10 to 38% better than last gen, so get excited for that, I would say. Now, you should also get excited for, you know, those improved Zen 2 Plus, let's call them, CPUs, because those are not the same that we've seen last year. So those were Renoir. Now they are Lucienne, and Cezanne is going to be Zen 3, in this case for the Ryzen 5000. The good thing with Lucienne, so Zen 2 Plus, as I would like to call it right here, is going to offer you 1 extra core for the GPU and some extra boost frequencies, and I believe it was even bass frequency, otherwise you're going to see the correct things on screen right now. The important thing, or the most important thing I would say, is the fact that AMD is finally enabling SMT on those Zen 2 cores, because they haven't done that last year if I remember correctly. So you're getting some extra threads as well, which is going to make it really great for productivity and of course for gaming as well, but mostly for productivity. What else is there to tell you about those things? Perhaps we should go and talk about Intel's 10nm chips. You know, those exist, presumably, and those are the Tiger Lake H and Tiger Lake U processors. And paired with the RTX 30 series of graphics cards, I expect that they're going to be a really great match, but I also expect that most people are going to try at least to go with AMD, or perhaps make a Team Red laptop, you know, but it really depends on the manufacturers. That's always the problem with the laptops, because it's not the same as going and buying some off-the-shelf component like you can do on PC and, you know, build your own fully AMD computer. But of course, there's also people like me who are platform agnostic and they don't really care about what they go with, be it Intel, Nvidia, AMD. They just wanted the best performance, and I've already seen some laptops go on sale, and this was some big air quotes over here, in the Netherlands on A30, and they looked a little bit pricey, but still this gives us an idea of what we can expect from those laptops. They were paired with an Intel 11370H, and of course I hate that naming scheme from Intel, but you know, it is what it is. And of course we have also seen Asus receive certification for their laptops, and those have also featured Intel's 11th gen processors. I haven't been able to find all that many with Ryzen 5000 chips, but I would expect that we're going to get more information on those at CES 2021, and I think this kind of sums it up. We're going to find more information about them next year in January, and from the information I've been able to find so far, I believe those are going to release at the end of January, start of February. And the whole idea behind it right now is that only Asus and MSI are going to come out with laptops at first. I don't know why to tell you, but I do expect that Lenovo, HP, Gigabyte, and all of those companies, given that we've seen some products from them, are also going to be coming out with laptops really soon. I don't know what is going on right now, but availability is obviously going to be a little bit better in the second half of 2021, because we're still dealing with the human malware and GDDR6 stock issues and all of those things. So knowing that all of those things are on the horizon, you know, RX 6000M, RTX 30 series, Ryzen 5000, Intel 10th gen mobile, all of those things are coming into laptops in the first half or second half of 2021. Are you going to buy yourself one of those things? Well, if you have to think about those, think about availability, think about pricing, think about scalpers, think about GDDR6 issues, think about other issues that might come out, and balance all of those things and think to yourself, can I afford those? Do I really want those? Are they going to help me? Overall, like, I'm looking at those things and I'm really excited for them. I can't wait to see reviewers get their hands on them, because sadly I don't think I'm going to be able to buy one of those laptops. But be sure that any information that I can find on the RTX 30 series of laptops, or all of those laptops, next generation laptops that are coming out in 2021, all of the information that I can find, I'm going to be bringing it to you as well, because I've received massive support from you guys for all of those things. So thanks a ton for that. Now, to answer the question, should you buy or should you wait for an RTX 30 series laptop or a next generation of laptop? Yes, the answer is yes. I can give you my approval, but please consider the costs attached to it and being on the bleeding edge of things. Even if you're not going for something like an RTX 3080 mobile, they're still a higher cost than what you could get for a last gen laptop. So again, if you have the money, if you want to have the best, go for it. Otherwise, check out those deals on laptops from last gen that have RTX 2060, 2070, 2080, or I don't know, whatever they were doing for AMD at the moment, because I don't remember all that much. I think we only had the 5500M graphics cards, and you know, those are still good. Now, I think it's enough for this video. It's been pretty rambly. I envisioned this one coming out differently, but I still hope you guys enjoyed. And like I was saying, if you'd like to keep yourself up to date with the latest news in tech and gaming, then consider subscribing to this channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.